Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
My headphones aren't
Good
really
morning.
working. Okay, now they
I
are.
think it's just turned down real low. Is that too loud now?
It's fine.
Um, I think that. Good morning, Cheeky.
Hello.
Hello. I still have all my teeth for now.
For now.
Till next Thursday. Which is kind of maddening because now I have to go through another week of this.
Yeah, but you have intense pain meds and antibiotics.
That's the difference.
You shouldn't feel a ton of pain, like the amount of pain that you were in like yesterday. You should not feel by the time they're gonna pull your teeth out.
Right, like the antibiotics should like do their trick, and
Yep.
apparently, here's take care of your teeth is the number one message. Like, just do it, because this is not a good time. Also, being in the spot of people being like, "Hey, man, you're scotch close to death." Never makes anybody feel good, especially when you have a myriad of people that rely on you and stuff. That's not Gucci. Yeah, they went and looked at it, and the infections were in my mouth were real bad, and so I have to go through a week of antibiotics and taking pain medic. It's basically just what I was doing, but this week should be better than last week. As I go through a week of antibiotics, and then they should be able to pull the thing. And it's two things now. It's two teeth, not just the one teeth. I get to lose two teeth. And it'll be a fun process. And then because I'm B2, they're like, so you're back Tuesday, then we can pull them. And I was like, yeah, no, I have too much work to do on Tuesday. I have way much work. I have too much work to do on Tuesday, Wednesdays. So we're not gonna do that then. We're gonna we're gonna push it out to Thursday again. So next week Thursday again, there will be no streams. Sorry for all the stuff moving around last minute. And sorry, because I'm me, there was part of me that I was like, well, we can maybe do the co-stream Thursday night. And I was just like,
no, you're going to be like unconscious probably.
No, I meant last night when they didn't pull it.
No.
And I was like, we could probably do that.
You needed to like lay down and do nothing. And honestly, today you should still lay down and do nothing.
I have to do a stand-up show tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay, I have to because I said I would be there, and it's tickets were. I'm not like. This is not me being like I'm a big deal because I'm not. But there are people who purchase tickets on the thing like, oh, cool, Jeff's doing a show.
I understand that, but I feel like they would also be like, oh, Jeff is dying of a tooth infection and he's still here. No.
I don't know.
You're going to get a lot of people yelling at you.
Shiki says, as long as they're not your two front teeth, it'll ruin Christmas. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think I just need to turn my... Well, your mic is like way up, and then mine is probably not up enough. We'll figure it out. Sam said, I just got here. Why am I yelling at Jeff?
He wants to live his life normally despite his impending tooth.
I canceled things yesterday.
Impending tooth infection. It's already here. I don't know why I said impending. It's here.
I canceled things yesterday, and I'm canceling things next Thursday. Like, you won't see us at all on streams next week on Thursday. But I have to live life in between now and then. Sam says, oh, I'm not yelling about that. Also, good morning, Sam. Also, Sam, if you could do me a favor, and if you could go comment on the secret YouTube to see what happens, that would be helpful. Sam says Lena would yell at me for my tooth, probably.
Probably. When I had a tooth infection, I was like down for the count. Like I thought I was gonna die. So I am just
to be
not
fair,
shocked, but
everyone yesterday, like we actually saw like the amount of people that are like, you could die from this, and I'm in a state of pain and stuff that I'm just like could I just like,
they're just
I would
not
welcome
be
it.
here anymore. No, you can get sepsis from a tooth infection and expire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I called my mom, and that turned out to be my mom. I forget my mom has anxiety sometimes because she lived through the age where you didn't diagnose such things. And I called just to let her know what was going on, and it was like I was like, "Hey, mom, yeah, just let you know, like, there you go. See this?
What?
He commented on YouTube, and it put it in the Twitch chat. Restream. It says, chat is
Secret
getting
channel.
clothed there too. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I thought we'd try it out.
Sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's helpful.
It says Restream bot over on YouTube. Sincerely, Sam and Shikikins VOD said secret channel through the YouTube secret channel. Yeah. The only
Said it. I sung it in my head.
the only problem I maybe have with that is just like if people chat or say things thinking that Jeff did not get the Avatar reference, and I'm sad. Thank you, Lena. Okay.
I got it. It's okay. Jeff ain't cool.
That's very true.
Oh no, I was just kidding. You're cool.
My only thing is if we keep this, I need to make sure there's something set up so that people know that when they chat, it's also going over on a YouTube channel. You know, like.
Hey, just so you know, everything you say on Twitch will also be on our YouTube channel.
Right.
You have no, not privacy, because that's not really private. Well, Twitch is private from YouTube in that
Sure.
sense.
A lot of people chat on Twitch and don't really think about it anyways. I'm just making sure that there's like open consent of just like, hey, by the way, the things you're
This will
saying.
be cloned
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Which if there's a lot of it, Sam says, what? Things I say in a public space are public. I realize that, and you realize that, but other people don't realize that. And so
yeah,
like
if my grandma got online and tried to like chat with us, I don't even think she would care if it was on YouTube or Twitch, but she wouldn't know that what she's saying is going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or that you could ever see it again, actually.
Sam says there's no difference in my opinion. That's technically true and fair, but like I don't know. There's a lot of people that like have their chat up on screen, and I don't think a lot of people think through the things that they're typing are going up on screen, and then when they're like archived in videos forever, like then that chat is up on screen.
Oh, I think about that.
You do. A lot of people don't. And Sam says my only issue is YouTube is forever, quote unquote, Twitch chat vanishes. Yeah. So I looked in there a lot because my hope was that it would like kind of like if you could control traffic, which direction like stuff was going, and be like, hey, can you clone YouTube over on Twitch but not Twitch over on YouTube? I thought that would be neat. Just so that like, hey, if someone comments on one of these other platforms, we see it that there are less people on, but we don't need the one where everybody's at to be cloned over there constantly.
Still looking for that needle. The other night, our power went out during our live show event, and it was like right when I was getting ready to get a needle to stab through an Advil so I could squirt the Advil into Jeff's mouth. And then the power went out right when I had the needle in my hand and I was standing up to get an Advil. And I don't know what I did with the needle because like instantly my brain was like, the power is gone. And I probably set it down somewhere. And now I'm just kind of like, wow, I hope I don't step on that needle. And it's like stressing me out a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a week. Well, that was that too. It's like we have all this stupid tooth stuff happening, which is like,
oh wait, I think
which is dumb. And then also like,
thank God, there's like thread attached to it, so I seen it. It was just sitting in the middle of the floor.
well, and then we got all set up for our live show, which is like one of the ways that we like make money every week is by doing that live show, and we did it, and then it was like, we were like getting going, like, hi, everyone's going, getting books ready to start selling, and then the power went out here. And it wasn't just us, it was like the whole city, but we're povertous enough that it was like there was like 10 minutes of like, did we pay that bill?
I was like, I think we did. I don't remember at this point, but yeah, we did. It was just something blue behind a bank or something.
Yeah.
And like,
you deserve so many cookies for that, because I could tell your brain was like jumping around.
Yeah.
Trying to say the specifics.
I know. Yeah, it was a thing, and then all of the half of our town that we live on.
Walmart didn't have power.
No, Walmart did not have power.
And so we had to then figure out, and the power was back about the time that we would have been ending the show. So it was like literally just like, hey, you guys get to just not make money this week, and then
have fun. I hope you have fun with your tooth problems.
Sam says, I'm very proud of you, Lena. Please teach Jeff to dox himself less. Okay. Or dox himself less. Here's the problem, Sam. I make money by people showing up to my comic shop.
Yeah, but I don't know that, no, not to say we aren't cool. I don't know that like people that are far away are gonna come from far away to our comic shop.
Lindsay's on a plane right now.
Is he? Okay, great. Good. I was hoping.
My entire life has been geared towards like, hi, I'm Jeff. Know my name, Jeff. Come out to this. I'm doing a comedy show tonight. Come out to this comedy show. It's in this exact city. Please come out. Come to my comic shop. It's in this city. Please come to it. Please, please, please. And then I don't know how to balance that with also, I like keeping Sam happy.
Again, though, I don't know that anybody... Well, we do have local people in our chat, but they're already probably coming. Or at least they know about it. You know?
Good morning, G. G says, hey, no comic shop. No bee murder. Sam said, that's my secret, Jeff. I'm never happy. Oh, no. Why are you trying to thread a needle?
I don't
right
know. Because I found it on the floor.
We don't just talk about my crazy near-death tooth problems on the show. We should.
We should talk about them for at least minutes because we're properly educated.
Take care of your teeth, everyone.
Jeff included.
We also cover all the news you nerd in a segment we like to call the Daily Quack.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
I didn't know that was going to do that to us.
I need to go to the hospital. My eardrums are blown.
Apparently, we also need to take care of our ears. After that, I don't know. All right, it should be better now. There's this thing that happens with this. So our audio for everything that comes through the computer is on a USB return that is like controlled by this analog knob, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have the thing all the way turned down and it's just like, nope, it's super loud actually. Sam said, please don't. I've been managing a tooth I can't afford to extract. I don't want to think about how close to death it makes me. Holy cow. It's kind of scary, Sam. Like, I'm number one on the, like, hey.
Yeah, but yours is worse because, like, you literally are like, I feel feverish. I'm fainting. I don't feel well, like suddenly out of nowhere. It's like I don't feel well. Like you went from like fine to a little bit of tooth pain to like I'm really warm and I can't stand up. And I'm like, what?
It's been a bad week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yours is in like code red, I feel.
Yeah. In a way that I've just been living with the teeth that I should have paid to get extracted probably like a year or two ago. And I hit the point this week where it was just like, buddy, you don't get a choice anymore. Speaking of that's my secret, I'm always insert meme here. Holy crap, a lot of people watched Marvel's Big Chair Showcase. It's from William Hughes.
What's a Marvel Big Chair Showcase? I don't know why I said it like that.
Oh, it deserves that.
Okay.
Good morning, Lita. It's from William Hughes at AV Club, who says, yesterday turns out to have been a landmark day in the world of furniture-based streaming, as Marvel's very big, very slow effort to flex its casting muscles and get people to admit they do kind of still give a damn about its ability to field massive numbers of bankable stars for next year's Avengers Doomsday ended up generating pretty hefty viewership numbers. So, like, this didn't hit your feed at all yesterday? You didn't know this was happening? They basically just slowly, and I mean slowly, revealed chairs with Peach Bull's names on the back of them. To be like, oh, this person's in the movie.
Okay, did that person show up?
No, it was literally chairs. This is like at the end, but it was like they would slowly reveal.
Are you gonna show the class or just me?
Okay. Sorry, I
didn't know what it was. That means maybe other people don't as well.
It's like, oh my gosh, that actor. Oh my gosh, that actor. Oh my gosh, that actor. Paul Rudd.
Who's Paul Rudd? I'm just kidding. Too intense.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Per Deadline, the live stream, which in case you didn't watch it, was literally 5 hours of chairs with the names of famous people on the back of them being set out. It was 5 hours of them just setting those chairs out.
Okay, that's kind of a waste of time.
Managed to rack up. How many views can you know, we put a lot of work into this show and managed to get probably after you count up all the views on like VODs and everything, 30 to 50 views on this show. Put a lot of work into it. It's growing, right? How many ballpark? How many views do you think their 5 hours of setting chairs up got?
Well, I wasn't one of them, so I don't really care.
Managed to rack up 275 million views on Wednesday.
Well, now we're 275 and 1.
That's like a well-contested soccer game or modestly well-viewed BTS video debut numbers, which isn't bad for something that must have cost all of about $100 to shoot, give or take Robert Downey Jr.'s appearance fee there at the end. Who says Pedro Pascal? I know him. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Shiki says that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's very dumb.
Silly.
Sam says, those are really fancy chairs. I've decided to forget Disney ruining the MCU. I'm a Marvel fan again. Sam says this article does not say how many of those are botted views. With numbers like that, it has to have bots viewing too. Oh, I'm sure. but also even with bots, that's an insane amount of number to hit.
What if every single one of them is bots?
It's a lot of bots.
Because I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
It happened on Wednesday.
And I work at a comic store.
But Wednesday, people kept coming in like, "Are you watching that thing?" And then like 3 other people in the comic shop would be like, "No, what are you talking?"
Yeah, so
They're setting out a chair. So far, they've set out Chris Hemsworth. Like, cool. Like, no, I'm gonna read these comics that are good.
yeah.
Sam says the video budget was spent on actually buying viewers. Maybe. Lita said Tom Hiddleston being in it is the only chair I care about. Are we PG here? You don't have to be. No, we're usually very not.
I have baby ears.
You have baby ears.
Don't swear around me.
Mm-hmm.
I lost that needle again. It's not funny.
It's not funny.
No, like seriously, I had it in my hands and I don't know what I did with it.
Giu says hung jokes were made about Jesus Christ. No, I did not make those on stream. I very specifically wrote that on a post-it.
Where did it go?
Lisa says, okay, I would like to have been that chair. Did you frame the post-it? I did not, sadly. Still, maybe we're the ones being foolish here. A lot of people watch those chairs, none of which, as far as we know, have...
It's magnetized to the back of my phone.
Oh, the needle?
Yeah, what the fuck? How does it do that?
Probably because your case is magnetized. Okay, do we need to take the needle away from you to the end of class?
I just literally, I didn't know where it went because I set my phone on top of it and then I lifted my phone up and it was gone. Okay? Jeff!
What?
Prices are slashed. Joanne 60% off store-wide.
Oh boy.
Thank God. I really do need fabric before they close though, because I don't know where else I'm gonna get fabric. I don't want to go anywhere else. Fuck Hobby Lobby, and Michaels doesn't really have fabric. So
no.
Shit out of luck.
Hey, Game Informer is back, and so is its entire team. This is from Anna Wishenko over at Engadget that says gaming journalism stalwart Game Informer has risen from the ashes. More than 30 years after its debut issue back in August 1991, the media outlet was officially shut down by the parent company GameStop in August 2024. Since then, the rights to Game Informer were acquired by Gunzilla Games, and in an all too rare win for today's media world, the entire team that worked on Game Informer at the time of its closure will return to their jobs. Editor-in-Chief Matt Miller posted the details about how the outlet was saved from the brink and noted that Gunzilla Games will be a hands-off boss. The new owners insisted on the idea of Game Informer remaining an independent editorial outlet, he wrote. They felt just as strongly as our team did that the only path forward was with an editorial group that made 100% of the decisions around what we cover and how we do so, without any influence from them or anybody else. Sure, but you no longer have the... So Game Informer didn't start off as a GameStop thing. It got bought up over the years, right? So but they've been able to be on this life support system because everyone who walked into GameStop got kind of bullied into a Game Informer subscription. So they're not coming in and controlling you now, but how true is that going to be a while from now? Jeez, also, I believe I mentioned my ex's thing who was 4'9" hung down to his knee. You did. And I made a tripod joke. Just wanted to remind how cursed that was. It was. We are proud to welcome the talented voices behind Game Informer and the Gunzilla Games family, enjoying their fight to preserve the heart of video game journalism in what has been a tumultuous time for the industry. Yeah, but unless you're going to get people to step up and subscribe to a video game magazine which, by the way, the subscription now at this point is going to cost more than $20 a year, because that was like being heavily subsidized by the fact that like GameStop was like, if they see these games in this thing, they will come into our store and maybe purchase them. And so where's that money going to come from? She said it's okay. He'd want me to. He specifically wore too tight pants for a reason. Genzilla Games, which counts Hollywood director Neil Blomkamp among its leadership, made a battle royale shooter called Off the Grid, and also developed the Guns blockchain platform. Cool. The website and its back catalog of content have been republished online. Game Informer staff has also published reviews of more than 24 games that came out during its site's hiatus, and belatedly compiled their requisite best games of 2024 list. The print magazine is also expected to resume activity, and Miller said more details will be forthcoming about subscription and membership options. It was an important piece of the puzzle, Game Informer was. And a lot of people that I really like and respect came out of there. A lot of people I like and respect are there. The problem is this shit has to make money, because we live in this capitalistic nightmare. So the question is, like, how much freedom are they actually going to give them, given that, like, at the end of the day, you have to be able to do something that's going to bring in some amount of money. Apparently, just set up chairs. Apparently, that's all any of us need to do, is just set up chairs for hours. And who needs to actually make any content? Story of Seasons is doing another Harvest Moon remake, and it might be the best the series has ever looked. This is from Lauren Morton over at PC Gamer, who says, sorry, I've said all the words that usually summon Lena, but she's still not summoned. Let me try that again. Story of
I already know this. It's not my fault I already know. I just already know.
Okay.
I'm in a Harvest Moon group.
GU says, Grand Bazaar, bitches. Lita says, yeah, it looks good. I don't know anything about this.
Oh, yeah, I'm in Harvest Moon.
Okay.
I found out yesterday.
Is that one also on fire like the Stardew one?
No, we don't. Hopefully don't have admins in there that are problematic.
GU says, hello, I've played every Harvest Moon. Selena, I believe, is in the same boat.
Yeah.
This is the... I don't know anything about this, but I guess it's a big deal.
It's pretty great.
Welcome to Zephyrtown, a cozy place nestled in a windswept valley.
So what was the game originally on?
Begins.
Like this one or the OG Harvest Moon?
The OG Grand Bazaar.
Popping up on the Nintendo
I don't
DS
know.
system.
Oh, there you go. He told you, the Nintendo DS system.
No shortage of activities to get up to.
I like that guy's vest.
Tend to your farm while growing crops.
I like that it's 2D.
Then sell your produce.
Or like, I guess not 2D, like isometric camera.
That's how
but
the newer remakes are.
As bazaar sales grow, you'll help the once famous market regain its former splendor.
Inspiring, honestly.
You can also get to know the locals.
I'd like to spend more time with you.
And maybe
She'd like to spend more time with you.
if you find that special someone.
He looks a little shocked.
Taking advantage of Zephyrtown's windy conditions.
Okay, got some Breath of the Wild mechanics. Or Breath of the Wild's got some Harvest Moon mechanics, I guess.
Winds of change are coming, and your new life on the farm begins.
This looks
when
great. I'm
Story
excited.
Seasons Grand Bazaar launches on the
Hey, that's
Nintendo
soon.
system August 27th.
Is it just a Switch?
Probably. I don't know. I was going to read a whole article about it, and you were just like, I already know!
No, I didn't. So I said I already know. Very, very chill.
Why are we talking about this?
No, Because you expected me to be like summoned by it, and I was not.
If you were not on this show, I probably would not be covering the story. I try to find stories that you will be interested in, and it's rough when I'm like, huh? And you're like, nah.
I'm not like, nah. I'm just like, oh yeah, I knew about that. So I'm not surprised. There's a difference between being like shocked and like. There was another thing I wanted to talk about too in the show, and I forgot what it was.
I don't know.
And I think I posted it in the. Oh yeah, the fucking Minecraft update. I wanted to talk about the Minecraft update, and you never took my submission.
Oh, sorry. I didn't. I've been dying of.
No, this was before you were dying.
Is before I was dying?
I think so. Or around the time that you started dying.
Sam said, my brain doesn't get the Harvest Moon games. I have tried. I really like the Super Nintendo one a lot, which is, I think, the first one. And I was like, that game is excellent.
Oh, I guess it was like 4 days ago. So right when your tooth started dying.
No, I'm sorry.
But you were already you were playing something. You were streaming because you were live. Because I remember coming in here to talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
G says the Harvest Moon protagonist always looks shocked. And, okay, here's the thing. It's the Switch Direct, but all the others were on PC, too. So I imagine it will be eventually.
Hopefully.
Lita says the Devil Summoner remake was my favorite thing from the Direct yesterday. It comes out 2 days after my birthday, so I'm excited.
Ooh.
Yeah. Lita, sometimes I used to do a thing where we just go through every Direct trailer, but there was a handful of people that were like, is this all we're doing today? Bye. And so I've started cherry picking things instead.
Who are those people?
I'll give you a list later. I'm not trying to call people out specifically, but like,
is it me? Am I part of it?
you are part of it though.
Oh,
You're always just like, ugh.
I need more engagement and like stimulus. I'm sorry.
Sam says, I couldn't do like anything in Super Nintendo Harvest Moon. SNES is my favorite console, so I really wanted to like it, but it's nowhere near as intuitive as Stardew. Sam says, it's okay, Jeff, you can call me out. Sam is one of those people. Sam is just like...
It's okay, Sam. We can be in the group of people that don't want to watch Nintendo Directs. Just move really slow and like... It's like, come on, you know? I don't have the attention span. To like...
Watch game trailers?
Kind of.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Sam said I was kidding, but I am one of those people. Yeah.
I might have to take like 2 Adderall to really get in there and pay attention.
G said Stardew Valley is just all the mechanics from Harvest Moon's before it. Very little is original, but he merged them all together. 20 plus years of improvement. Yeah. It's basically all the good stuff from Stardew mashed together with some of the good stuff from other cozy games all mashed together.
My favorite Harvest Moon is Back to Nature. I was like unhealthily dependent on that game to the point where like if my grandma tried to get me to stop playing it, I would like have meltdowns. I don't know how they didn't know about my autism until years later, but I would sit in my little like I had like a pod chair, like one of those like cool circular chairs.
Yeah.
And I would just sit in it and like become a tiny little bird in my little nest, my little pod nest. And then I would play Harvest Moon and do nothing but that. It's probably a problem.
Or
for my growing brain.
Part of what made you who you are, someone who can't sit through a game trailer now.
What? I don't understand. How would that mean I can't sit through a game trailer? Wouldn't that mean that I'd be more apt to since I...
No, because it's not interactive enough and not like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Juice,
that makes sense.
Juice says, which Harvest Moon is like Pokemon, it does gimmicks and it suffers from it. To which Sam says, I know. GU, that's why I really wanted to explore the series. Harvest Moon years when? Sam says, well, here's the thing. I'm too broke to care about new releases. Capitalism makes me sad, so I'd rather just enjoy my beloved games than get my hopes up about rush cash grabs. like each one what does. GU says A and B has the decorating, Rune Factory has the combat, etc. Stardew Valley just put it all in one package. They're all simpler. Yeah, I really liked the Super Nintendo one and played a ton of it. And then I feel it. I guess it is very similar to Pokemon in that I was just kind of always like, yeah, I played that game. I'm good. And then basically it's still Stardew Valley came out, and I was like, cool. And now whenever another one comes out, I'm enjoying my Space Stardew one that I'm playing now because it's like, but as it slowly turns from a moon where it's just like me and a robot cat Stardewing, and as it like turns slowly into just Stardew Valley as we terraform that planet, I'm getting less and less interested in it because I was actually really intrigued by this when it was just like, hey, we're trying to survive on a planet, and
Yeah.
Now it's like, isn't it great because you terraformed it and now there are rivers you can just get water from instead of breaking down this like frozen ice? And I was like, no, I really liked breaking down the frozen ice. That was
Bring that back, please.
that was a cool thing that made this game unique. Leah said, I feel you is why I downloaded the DS version of Grand Bazaar to get the fix. Fair enough. She said, yeah, they're just like, this is this game's gimmick, and move on, and it drives me crazy. Rune Factory builds on each game. In this game, you can place fences and decorate your farm. Ooh, cool. It's gone now. Yeah. Yeah, that would also drive me crazy. New Marvel beat 'em up from TMNT Shredder's Revenge devs looks awesome. This is from our pal Zach Sweezen.
Yay, Zach Sweezen.
Over at Kotaku, who says Marvel and Dotemu just announced Marvel Cosmic Invasion, a co-op 90s inspired beat 'em up that starring famous comic book characters and set to launch later this year. The cool looking brawler is from the same studio that brought us 2022's very, very good TMNT Shredder's Revenge. During the Nintendo Direct, sure to be the last one before the Switch 2 Direct in early April. The Switch 2 Direct is next week on Wednesday, by the way. I've was toying back and forth between trying to do something for it, and then given that I'm doing another week of Twitch stuff, I doubt we'll be live watching the Nintendo Direct about the Switch at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, but that's when that's happening if anyone wants to. I don't think I'm buying a Switch 2.
No. Okay. That's not a bummer to me. I'm fine with that.
But that's what... It's weird. It'll be the first Nintendo system I haven't bought at launch since... the GameCube, and might be the first Nintendo system I don't buy at all.
I guess that would be kind of break up that tradition.
Well, the thing is, like, I've used it less than I have any other Nintendo console because it's like
You could like go halvesies on one.
But you really want a Steam Deck, and I think you'd actually use that thing.
Don't not get a Switch because I'm getting a Steam Deck. That makes no sense.
If they would just make a console for the TV and not do the stupid mobile thing, I'd be all about it. But they're going to do the stupid mobile thing again. But everybody else disagrees with me, so they should do that.
Wait. So, I'm confused. So you're saying that it's only mobile?
No, it's the same, like, it's...
Why does it matter then? You can pick it up and move it from the dock, and then just when you're done, put it back. Why do you care?
Because it's still, like, from a design aspect, it's less of a thing designed to play on a TV. It's like, that dock fucking sucks. It's
maybe they'll improve that.
I tried to leave our Switch docked, but then the kids take it out half the time.
Tell them no.
I'm just saying, like...
You have authority. Kind of. Not really, but you know. We could dream.
But then there's even like there's problems that are starting to hit that people are like, oh yep, if you leave your Switch docked all the time, this breaks, or if you leave your Switch docked all the time, this happens to it. Like they're not designed to be used that way. GU says I play the Switch because I'm too disabled for otherwise. Jeff, your mic's a little hot again. I'm probably just getting angry. I'm sorry.
Or he has a fever
I'm sorry.
from his tooth.
That too. There's locks you can get for that. Okay. I thought it might be my earbuds, but Shiki started talking and it's not. Okay. Sorry. I will try to bring my passion down. GU, like, I'm happy that the Switch exists for you. I'm happy that it exists for all the people that it makes happy. And when they were like releasing a 3DS and a Wii U and a Wii and a 2DS, or what was the thing before? Just a Nintendo DS, Wii, 3DS, Wii U, right? Try to remember all those things. It did divide up their dev team, so it's like they're one of the best game developers on the planet, and it split up their dev teams of like what they're doing for. At least now all the games come out on one console, which is nice. But I just don't. I like to sit on a couch and play games on a TV. That's who I am.
Yeah,
and
true.
I understand that most people at this point disagree with me, and most people don't prefer playing games that way. They prefer playing on a handheld device or at a computer. Is where 99% of the people are. That's where the market is, and I completely understand that like stuff shouldn't be made for me because that's not where the money in the market is at. That said, I have used the Nintendo Switch less than I have any other Nintendo console. And I can imagine that that's going to be a different story for the Switch 2. And if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I might as well get like a Steam thing where I already have a library, and it's not like I'm going to use the Steam thing a lot either, but you will, and we already have a big library there as opposed to a bunch of $70 games that we need to buy. GU says, on paper, I like what the PS5 does more, but I rarely play it because I physically can't. That said, PS5 has made a portable controller. Yeah, it's that like, what is that thing called? The thing that's got a screen in the middle of like the controller. Sam says, you're fine. I was just letting you know. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think I was just getting yelly. I'm really sorry. GU says, I think the issue is Switch made a portable only mode, but not a TV only mode. You know, that's a good point. I think if they would have done that, like the way that they made a Switch Lite, I think if they would have made for me like a
Switch dark.
Switch heavy, I don't know, something that's like, hey man, it's designed to sit on your entertainment center and not move.
Yeah.
And you can plug it in and like,
yep.
Your kids can't take it out of the thing. There's not a screen you're paying for that you're never
My
gonna
favorite thing is that the kids take your Switch even though they have Switches of their own. And they're just like, but ours doesn't have whatever. I don't know what their Switches don't have that yours does at this point in time.
Because they lose all their games.
That too.
And I stopped buying. That's when I stopped buying physical games, is because they would lose them all or like put them in the wrong cases or like whatever. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go all digital because it's like they can't scratch that. You know, they can't.
Yeah, then they could just steal your Switch.
But then they just steal my Switch. Yeah, it's obnoxious. Sam said, just put a better graphics processor in the dock that is used instead of in TV mode. I don't know what that sentence means. I wish I did. There's part of me that like wants to pretend I did, but I do not. Anyways, this is coming. It looks very cool. I love Shredder's Revenge so much. You'll get to play as Venom.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
This music medley does a really good job of invoking the various themes that we know for these characters without actually copyright infringing. Like, I'm gonna play the fuck out of this. And then we can sit on the couch next to each other. You're not even paying attention.
I was. You can go back in the VOD and check. I was looking at it for a minute. And then all the like hack and slash repetitive gameplay kind of chases me away.
But
I can't do repetitive gameplay very often.
But we can play together. We could sit on a
Yeah,
couch next
it'll
to each other. And
It'll be fun to like beat it and go through it
yeah.
and play it like that. But I don't think I could do like multiple playthroughs.
Oh, okay.
I can try.
She said, you and my ex would get along, Jeff. Hey, girl, I want to sleep with, play Marvel game. Uh-huh. To be fair, Lita likes these characters. I think it's just that if it was like a, hey...
It's really hard for me to keep track of what's happening in games like that.
And the side-scroller beat-em-up ones?
Yeah, I'm really bad at games like that. I'm also really bad at like Smash Bros. And stuff. I just can't keep track of what's happening and which character is mine. And there's just like a lot happening. There's nothing wrong with that.
Geo sent an Etsy listing. Oh, it is a literal lock.
Nice.
It's like a bicycle lock.
They'd probably break that, honestly.
They would just cut it.
They would. We're parenting goblins.
They'd be like, I feel like, why would you do that? Like, it'd be like, we don't understand. Like,
but your Switch has Minecraft or whatever. I don't know. Actually, that's not true because your Switch doesn't have... Oh, your Switch has Minecraft downloaded. It doesn't have the chip. And they are constantly losing... That's what it was. They're constantly losing the Minecraft chip. It's like a constant here. Like, I have one of our oldest that lives with his mom. He literally, like, came over, was like, we can't find the Minecraft chip. And I'm like, I don't know where the Minecraft
also,
chip
it throws
is.
me off they call them chips instead of, like, cartridges or, like,
Yeah.
but, like, it's evolved into that. I was like, where did you guys hear? Why do you call them chips? But they all call them chips.
It's just, it makes my brain happy, honestly.
Okay.
But be like, I can't find the Minecraft chip. Like, I really don't know. I haven't seen that in months. And then I walk up to the entertainment center and I just go like this with my hand and like knock down like 3 different chips from the top of the entertainment center. I'm like, well, we have this one, just like free floating, covered in dust. I'm just like, this is so stressful as someone who collects physical video games. And then meanwhile, I'm just secretly hoping that none of those cartridge or chips are mine, because we all have... I used to keep my Switch games in the bedroom because I have some that are like...
I'm about to just send a bunch to Sam because we don't use them, and they're ones that I'm like, Sam will utilize these in streams.
I used to keep mine in the bedroom so they wouldn't get broken or lost, but then I was like, it's fine. And then as soon as I did that, all the chips are on the table.
Lita says, I wish I had more playable female characters at launch, but I guess that's what DLC is for. but that also just a me thing. I prefer female skin, so I do too. So
Oh my god.
yeah, it's on mine too. Our cat is a menace.
Are you sure? That looks more like it melted. Look. Looks melted.
Mine is definitely chewed over
Oh,
here.
mine is chewed as well in certain places, but this part looks melted.
Sam said, I heard my name. What? I was saying that I have a bunch of Switch games that I own that I will probably never utilize because I don't use that console much, and then they're just sitting there. So I was saying I'm contemplating just
they're getting used and then thrown back on top of the entertainment. So
that's what I'm contemplating. Sending them out to you, Sam, is what I was saying, so that they will be appreciated and kept safe and utilized in ways that. G says, you know what I want? I unironically want from Farm Sims more to romance than give favorite object. I know games did this and I miss them. Like, give a drink after they're done with work is so cute and also takes into account the autonomy of emotion. Yeah, I think that is one of my biggest problems, I think, with a lot of those games is that it equates like there are people out there with like the love language of gift giving and it's fine, but there is like so much.
I for one would love it if some farmer came up to me and gave me eggs every day, a singular egg.
In this economy,
I know.
It's like it's worth a ton. But no, it's like that's such a weird thing. And whatever you distill romance down to in a game,
it's not going to be realistic.
No,
probably.
But like that's such a weird thing to.
Speaking of games,
yeah,
I think Inzoi came out today.
It did.
Fuck. How much is it on Steam?
Sam said, I mean, I won't stop you if you want to. I do like our physical collection. Yeah, well, it's like I realized in some of the stuff I send you, who knows if it works or doesn't work at this point, but then that becomes your fun problem and not mine anymore, right? But I realized when we were having the DK conversation, and
it's only $40. That's not terrible.
And how much people like the two ones that have come out since. That I have a Switch copy of Tropical Freeze just sitting there that I got for my kids to play, and no one has played it, and I haven't played it, and it's just sitting out there. Or someone gave it to me at some point. I don't remember how I got a hold of my copy. I got it with intentions of it being used, and it's just been sitting there. So, it's not doing anybody any good. It's very silly. 2, 3. Okay. But all we talked about the silly chairs, talked about the Game Informer. Okay. Just trying to extend DKC Sundays. Exactly. She says, like, I remember the rich girl giving her a gift raised her friendship a little, but not her romance. Talking to her did, and I like that. She has
Wait a minute. Sorry, 1 second. Hold on. Wait.
We're doing a show in which talking is
I know. Sorry,
is the show.
I was okay. Well then, fine. Go ahead. I was reading something and I thought I read something, but I'll update you in a second.
Okay.
I guess
I was just holding.
No, it's okay.
For,
Go ahead.
For you
Go ahead.
Like I remember she could give. That means a lot to her. Like the mail girl, if you gave her something sweet after she was done delivering the mail, like milk or juice or strawberry, she'd get excited. You get romance points because you listened to her likes and cared about her well-being. Yeah, and it's like there's so many like dating sim mechanics out there you could utilize too. Um like there's all these dating sims. I don't understand, like, either take the dating options out of these farm sims or make them more robust, please, because it's like this. And has this maybe led to the culture in which men look at women like video games, in which if they insert the right amount of attention tokens, they're deserved something? Maybe. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's something to like men playing all these games and going like, okay, I just have to do so many, attention tokens, and then I can make this woman my wife, and then trying to take that and then implement it in real life and be like, why are you such a bitch? I gave you all these attention tokens.
Oh,
Maybe we should have our dating sims in games be a little more like, hey, sometimes that person's just not right for you, and that's okay.
yeah.
Did you ever figure out what you were holding the show for?
I don't know. So Inzoi, they removed some aspect of it that people are very excited about the fact that they removed. I guess it takes away the option for modding it,
Okay.
and people are stoked because it like made it run faster. I don't know. I thought someone removed the thing that other people were mad about.
The generative AI.
I don't know.
stuff.
I don't know enough about it right now to like. I just thought that's what they removed, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy that they like listened," but I don't know that they did.
Okay.
I have no.
I don't know anything about it, so.
I just really like the Sims.
I know you really like this.
And EA is a capitalistic hellscape, and it's just I can't buy all the Sims that I want. I can't. It's too expensive.
Right.
And so Inzoi coming out, I was excited because it looked like a base game that was similar to The Sims, but even with like multiple options in the base game instead of having to buy a shit ton of DLC.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what people say about it and what their opinions are on it. I saw most people seem to be pretty hype about that thing. She said, like she needed her blood sugar up. She ran around town on foot. Oh, the mail lady. Yeah. Like, it isn't the item, it's the thought. Yeah, I think that would be much better. She said, I always loved the rich girl because you can't, like, control your emotions. She can't help that physical gifts don't mean that much to her. She appreciates the effort, but she has so much stuff she probably isn't using your stuff that often, most of which was also gifts, but you talk to her that affects her because she's a human with emotions and she can't force herself to feel love or something. To her small, she realizes it isn't for you, but they're her emotions. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're gonna do dating stuff in these games, they should be more complex and nuanced, and not just like, all right, you gave her 7 things that she'll marry you now. I'm more forgiving with that with like older games. But like with these newer ones, like, why are you using these same systems that are not great? Speaking of relationships, every Friday we go to the bowels of the internet, the hive of scum and villainy. That is Reddit, to read r/relationship advice. I gotta see. I lost one of my links. But we go and we read for you questions that people have posed in r/relationship advice. I gotta try to figure out how to find the one that I lost. And Chrome's things have gotten too complicated. Probably that. What happened there?
Hmm? What?
One of them
Got removed.
got removed, maybe like very quickly. I think that was what was throwing me off. Okay, how do I, 18-year-old female, stop being so clingy and anxious towards my boyfriend, 20-year-old male?
I'm curious.
When my boyfriend and I first got together, the first 7 months were like heaven. I was on a cloud beside him drinking tea.
Aw, that's a nice visual.
We're long distance, so we text daily, hours on end. I wake up to him, I go to sleep to him, I go about my day and tell him what I'm doing, and he does the same. Typical honeymoon phase. We've been together for about a year and a half now, and that honeymoon phase is over for him at least. What's up, Professor Pixelbits? It says, I was always a Penny person. Just wanted to get her out of her mom trailer.
Oh, same.
She says, honey. I'm guessing about the post already. We've been together for about a year and a half now, and the honeymoon phase is over for him at least. We're still talking, but not like we used to. We barely flirt, barely do anything together. We basically know everything about each other, so there's nothing left to ask. I've noticed he's the type to feel secure in a relationship. He loves me and knows I love him, so he never worries. While I'm the opposite. I want him to tell me he loves me hourly. Hourly's a lot.
Yeah,
I probably hit hourly,
I was
though.
ready to like defend her and be like, oh, you like, it's like I thought he was gonna be like, oh, she's being clingy, when in reality she just literally is asking for the bare minimum, because that tends to be the case. But no, I like being told hourly that I am loved, and I also like telling people hourly. So, but I think you just gotta find somebody that's like in that level, you know, where you're vibing
Right.
on that same level.
Yeah. Yeah. So like,
Jeff and I are like equally as clingy.
yeah. So
to
it
each
works for
other.
us. That's the thing. It's like clinginess is kind of like libido. It really doesn't matter where you're at. What matters in a relationship is if it's mismatched. Like if you're equally clingy, cool. If you're equally unclingy, also cool. If one person's clingy and the other person is not, that's when
then you gotta resolve that.
yeah.
It's possible to probably work it out, but like you can't just be like, okay, I'm super clingy and he's not, and expect it to just resolve itself. I guess if you're okay with being clingy but not receiving the clinginess, then that's one thing.
I suppose that's all right. Yeah.
I just don't know.
I want him to tell me he loves me hourly. I still want to know what he's doing all the time. If he even talks to me funny, I get so overwhelmed and sad and feel like I've done something wrong. I want to talk to him and flirt like we used to. I want to know who he talks to, how he is. I know this isn't healthy, and I've tried to stop being like this, but I can't.
I mean, honestly, she's not even asking, is it okay that I'm doing this? She's asking, how do I stop?
I suppose that's
so
true,
she's
yeah.
realizing there's a problem here and asking for assistance on how to resolve the problem.
Yeah.
I don't think she's trying to like do the thing sometimes people do where it's like, I'm doing this thing that's like not great, but I'm gonna pose it as I'm looking for help.
Why doesn't he tell me he loves me every hour?
But like, actually, I think I'm perfectly in the right and I don't want to change. Like, it does seem like she's like, hey, I have a problem and I need to like,
yeah, I need help.
I need this figured out.
She says therapy. The answer is therapy.
It's true.
G says she sounds like she has not so good attachment style. Yeah. Professor says communication solves most problems, and tell them how you feel. Yeah, that's a big piece of it. So many of these that we read on here is often just like, hey, you guys need to just like talk to each other. But this one seems like there's more going on there. Like, I don't want to weigh in too early. We're about halfway through, but like, you're 18 and 20. It's a long distance relationship. 20-year-old dudes are bad at a lot of shit, and one of the biggest things they're bad at is breakups. And what a lot of dudes do, unfortunately, is when they're ready to break up with you, they don't have they don't have the ovaries to do it. And so what those dudes will do instead is they will sit there and be like, I'm going to like not pay attention to you till you break up with me.
Yeah.
And
she did say they were like great for the first 7 months, and then now it's different. So maybe that's his.
Hello, is it the shoes?
Hello.
Professor says he's probably avoidant attachment too. Anxious and avoidant are some of the strongest feels, but the worst match. Is it the shoe says I'm so guilty of that. The like kind of like emotionally removing yourself, thus getting them to break up with you thing. And then Professor Pixelbit says ghosting. No, in some ways it's worse than ghosting, because ghosting you disappear off the face of the planet,
or at least off the face of their existence.
Yeah. This is, I don't know if there's a word for it, but it's just like you just stop. It's like a classic dude move. You just stop giving any kind of effort or anything, to the point that like the other person eventually goes, ugh. Well, if it's going to be like this, we need to break up. And then the guy's like, okay.
Instead of just being like, hey, this isn't working prior to that, all of that.
G says avoidant are the fucking worst. One of my exes were that. I don't know enough about that to weigh into that. Sam says it's worse than ghosting. I would agree. Because at least ghosting is like a form of like decisive removal. This is whatever you want to call it. She says I am also avoidant. I love that you're like, this is the worst. Also, I'm the worst. I appreciate that, cell phone, but like, I don't know enough about this stuff to be. I don't know the attachment styles and like what they represent.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm anxious attachment. Probably.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Maybe where my body would probably.
Well, because in the beginning of our relationship, I kind of did this thing where, like, when things were getting really serious,
Jesus, I know we're awful. Don't date us.
I was clingy, but then like if you would display any kind of like I would get freaked out just by the like sheer, okay, this is good, and good feels weird. So I would be like, I need to be flighty and like run away, and you're like, but it's fine. You don't actually need to do that. And so I had like a mixture of both, maybe, but it's like now I'm just anxious.
Yeah.
I'm just anxious and clingy. And
yeah, I need to go over the attachment styles. I don't know enough about them. Is it the shoe says, I would get into relationships that were bad matches and I'd stay in them when I shouldn't have. I think we all have that, unfortunately. Professor says, you got to realize it doesn't get better from there. And flag, that flag is the flag, leave the flag. G says, avoidant dismissive is defined by downplays the importance of the relationship, is usually self-reliant, and can become vulnerable when there's a big crisis. That's okay. Am I avoidant?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't see downplays the importance of the relationship, and usually self-reliant. Yes, but also
I have to go over these.
I
things.
I don't know. Maybe you at first. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Am I breaking you right now? He gives me no reason to worry, yet I worry anyway. If his location is off, I beg him to turn it back on. If he doesn't respond to me within a few hours, I start getting so anxious and my whole body aches. It's gotten so bad to the point of if he takes a photo and there's a woman in the back, I just a random stranger walking, I get anxious and my mind is flooded with worries like, what if he finds someone prettier or funnier?
Oh.
We don't call much anymore. He barely says I love you. It's not that he doesn't love me. He just feels we already know we love each other, so there's no point in saying it. This is like tough because it's like she definitely has things she needs to work on, but also like this dude does not seem like the right dude for you. Simultaneously, it feels like both those things are happening.
Yeah.
Like you deserve someone who tells you you love you more than you even want or need to hear it. That's fine. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm always stressed and anxious for no reason, and it's taking a toll on me physically and mentally. You break up.
Also, she's 18. She's
you're
a
18.
baby. Don't waste your like early adulthood. And like being 18, you should be having fun and like going out and doing fun things with your friends and like learning who you are and stuff. Like wasting time on this dude who doesn't seem like a good fit probably isn't the way to go.
They've said, sorry you had to find out this way, but that also says, I don't think you come off as avoidant. Okay.
No, I think sometimes maybe I'm just more clingy than you are. And you can, and it's like a noticeable thing, if that makes any sense.
Which is crazy because I'm itself pretty clingy. What?
Did you hear that?
No.
Okay. It's just a weird sound. We have cats and children, so like I'm assuming it was one of the other, but
well, let's hope. Professor says your attachment styles can change too per person and even through the relationship. She says it's important to mention that attachment styles are not a disorder; they're a reaction you can cure with therapy. Okay. To which Professor says, "My cure was leaving my ex." LOL. She says they're often symptoms of other disorders or other things, but are not disorders in themselves. And she says, I think he probably found another girl in college, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, it sounds like that thing where, like, the dude can't just, like, be like, hey, we're done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I get it. Those conversations suck, but, like...
You'll both be better for it, too.
Yeah. What I tell my kids all the time is, like... It's a bad system that we have. But as of right now, the only system we have for figuring out the right person for you to be with is for you to date a bunch of the wrong people first. And if you don't...
I dated the wrong person for a decade and 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of us did that, right? Where it's like, we're like, okay, this one, because you're so scared about, like... This like, well, what if there isn't another one? But it's like, it's better to be alone than it is to be with the wrong person.
Exactly.
And so you need to be quick about going like filtering out like, this is not the person for me. Now some people are too good at that.
And they barely give it a chance and they're just like, oh, this isn't working, bye.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't working, bye.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't working, bye. Like, they just want that dopamine. And when it's not giving the dopamine, because you're never going to have dopamine 24/7 in a relationship. You're going to go through, like, hard spots, even early in a relationship. It's not always going to be like, yes, I'm so over the moon. But, like, you
do need to work on that filter. Like,
yeah.
that's all work you have to do. The filter is, like, figuring out who the fuck you are, what's important to you, and like having that filter that's like, hey, sorry, you don't fit into this. You're great though. I had a good time with you. Bye.
This was nice.
And those are hard conversations, and those are conversations where feelings are going to get hurt, and that's fine and okay, because unfortunately, this is the only system we've got to do this.
But it's much better than spending a long period of time with a person who's not right for you.
trying to fix a lot. Like, I'm the only person that I know of that is pulling, my kids aside and being like, hey, you are going to be attracted to some people that are not good for you. That is not a good barometer of whether or not someone's good for you. It's not 0 either, but like there's like a Venn diagram of like people that are good for you, people you're attracted to, and you have to like figure out that sliver in the middle.
Yep.
But yeah, not all dick is good dick. Like it's like some of it is.
Now, I went through a very small self-destructive phase in between my dating my ex and being in a monogamous relationship, and yeah, you might be attracted to the dude that's like, our brains are weird because like at the same time you'll be like, yeah, this dude's showing me attention, and then literally like treating me like garbage is not great, but my brain for some reason at the time, not anymore, but at the time was like, yeah, this is fine, this is cool. Because when he was paying attention, it was like, oh.
She says, technically, I'm fearful attachment style. We're menaces. We're like dating a cat. I want you to touch me. Why are you touching me? Stab, stab, stab.
Oh, maybe I'm that.
I
just want to be like, I'm definitely cat related in that I would like to be like snuggled on my terms, and if usually it's okay if it's Jeff or like, but if anybody else touches me and I'm not prepared to be touched, it like literally scares me because I'm just like, and it feels like there's a weight on me that I don't quite, and it's not like I'm like freaked, maybe I am, I don't know, but like it's not, if I don't expect it coming like a hug or whatever, then it's like I get freaked out, and it feels less like a comforting way and more like a, oh my god, like there's too much weight.
The shoe says, sure, I'd like to imagine it's all in my past, but my current partner rocks, so I felt no need to want to be good. Professor says that glad you found that finally the biggest thing is realizing what's worth it and what's not, and seeing those flags and knowing people are going to be themselves and they only change if they want to. But the hardest thing, like we're talking about an 18 and a 20-year-old right now, and I think the hardest thing is like that you're going to do so much changing between 20 and 30. It's ridiculous, regardless of like everything going on. And it's tough. And then that's the data that you're bringing into dating in your 30s of just like, well, I have this data from this time period in which everybody's in this constant, it's rough. Dating fucking sucks. G says long distance while surrounded by a lot of people is a bad combo. Yeah. Sam says, that just reminded me of the Black Mirror dating episode. Are you talking about the one with the dating app? Because I like that one a lot. Professor Pixelbit says, you have to swim through a sea of bad people before you find that one. Yeah. And they're not always bad people. They're the worst thing is like, there's a lot of people out there that are like almost the person for you. And if you Daniel Sloss's quote on it always like really hits me hard, where he's like, hey, if you only love yourself 20%, someone can come in and love you 40%, and you're like, oh my god,
yeah,
but that's literally less than half of you that they love. But it's a big deal that you figure out, just it's okay to have high standards in dating. Like I said, those knobs can be turned up too high, but most people I know have them cranked way too low. Like, for the record, the women, if you're listening, being nice is not a quality.
That's just what you should be.
That's just a bare minimum that you should have for someone to be in your life at all, not to like date. It's not like, but he's nice. Like that's not. That's
Jeff and I went through a period of like months before we started like seriously dating, where he was like, I need to make sure that like you and I fit in a way that you're not just like with me because I'm not like shitty to you. Like I'm supposed to be nice to you. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be like, these things are supposed to happen. That doesn't make me like better. It just makes me like the standard.
yeah. Yeah, that's not something that should separate someone from a herd. That should be the only herd you're looking at. Like that's
Your beard separated you from the herd.
my beard did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top notch.
G says also, Jeff, this is what my ex was like, to be clear. So they're constantly the line between emotionally distant and will flat out get on you for being more clingy than you're not, but also controlling when the person tries to drift away. Ah, yeah, the push pull. Yeah.
Those are fun.
And demands a lot more comfort. They want a whole and affirmation. They don't want that whole to have autonomy. Speaking from experience and being the same. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. Professor says the more avoidant pushes away, the more anxious tries to cling, burning themselves more and more over and over. That sounds rough. I sent you something in DMs. Okay, I will check it out in a bit. Even if I expect it, I want to rip your arm off. G says basically avoidant / fearful style is due to a negative self-image and a negative image of others. It's an extreme trauma response. That makes sense. Professor says, yeah, it's huge. I was different person every 2 years from 20 to 30. Yeah, you changed so much during that time period. G says, with Rad, I literally have permanent negative self-image and bad image of others, which makes avoidant. This says the one where they are like at the dating resort and the machine tells them if they're a perfect match or not. Oh, yeah. Can we watch back through Black Mirror?
Sure. I mean, I just needed to get through most of Invincible
Okay.
before we started other things. We're almost through season 3 of Invincible, and I'm so excited. But also, I don't want to be done with it. But also, like, there's just so many shows.
Yeah, there are so many shows.
So many.
G says, if a man says he can have sex with you right after he yanked your arm out and it's in a sling, he's wrong, and leave him. Yes. Right then. Professor says the bar for men is very, very low, Jeff. And that's what I'm saying. Let's get that bar up.
This post did remind me of, like, this isn't to say that she's too much. We don't really know too much of the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, and this isn't me being like, he did these things. I'm just saying I acted like she's acting a lot in my early teens and, like, early adulthood. And my ex and I were long distance twice. The first time he went to Germany and then to California.
Mm-hmm.
But we met in person first, which makes it even more gross. But I don't know why I felt the need to clarify that like that would make it better, but it makes it worse because I was 13 and he was 20 something. But he went to Germany and then he went to California. We started dating online at that point after he got to Germany. And then we like waited like I think a year. He came back. But during these times where he was in California / Germany and I was here, he like would do things like hang out with other people and like be an adult man with adult friends who could do things that I couldn't because I was a teenager in Michigan. And like he would actively like cheat on me and be terrible. And then it would be like I would get really clingy and like call him every hour. And like if his phone was off, I would like leave him voicemails. And like I was a little bit
Well, that happens all the time where you'll meet somebody like at work or something and they'll be like, ugh, my girlfriend's the worst or my wife's the worst. And be like, yeah. And be like, yeah, she just like needs to know where I am all the time. And
I
then
only cheated on her like 4 times,
That's
but
the-
come on, I
yeah.
stopped. It's been like a year.
you'll
And
find
it's like what you do, you do. So it's the consequences of your actions. Like it's the correlation between you. You don't just get to cheat on people and then expect them to like trust you afterwards. That's not how that works. It just it isn't. I'm sorry. No, he was not a great person in many aspects. He had so many layers of bad that like it's wild.
Professor Pixels is currently watching through Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets is so good.
Oh my god, it's so good.
We're watching week to week season 3 right now, and so we watched it at midnight last night when it was
Sure
fresh.
did. Fresh.
And we're not okay.
Nope.
But
Nope.
that show is so good. She said, "Oh yeah," or it said she shouldn't also be dating until she gets therapy. Wanting "I love you" every hour is not healthy in adulthood. G says, "Oh yeah, my original ex did that to me." The small one. I love that this is there. You can often become clingy because they're mistreating you. Makes avoidant, makes disorganized. Yep, and a lot of time it's off because of you because he's with a different girl. Yeah, but they put it all on you, and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, like why do you have to know so much?" I guess
To be fair, like yes, I was like this is something that like is I just wonder how many people in adulthood actually went through things like that in their formative years and are now like feeling the effects of it, whether it be from like relationships or parents or whatever.
Well, like Giu said, the attachment styles is a trauma response.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, because I get that way with you, where like if you don't answer the phone, I get like, and I'm not scared you're cheating on me. I'm scared like something bad happened to you.
Mhm.
Like, and that stems from like even my like childhood.
Yeah.
But like I learned as like a coping mechanism through my ex to like keep calling and keep calling and keep calling because like eventually then maybe I will get through and then like I can feel calm
Yeah.
and good. And I've had to like reel myself back and be like, that's not a healthy response. You can't sit there and call someone 10 times if they don't answer their phone unless it's an emergency, but usually it's not. But like at the same time, just realizing how that has shifted and like formed my brain into what a fun little blob it is now is it's interesting.
Giu said, I had to turn my phone off because you were blowing it up. Yeah, because you intentionally made me addicted to you, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, is like in those early months too, some guys get off on just like I say guys, these roles can be reversed, but like for the sake of conversation, guys, some guys get off on the just like, but like, oh, when I text her, she texts me right back, and then get upset when they stop, when they change their behavior 6 months later. They're like, why are you being so weird? It's like, well, you
like love bombed me and like paid attention to me and like literally like made me dependent on you and then pulled back so hard that like, yeah, that is such a strange like.
Sam says, I don't see calls or texts unless I go look for them. Same. And it drives everyone insane.
I do the same thing though. And like, but I at least have like the vibrate on my phone for like calls. I don't have like actual notifications on
People
them.
will be like, I saw you saw that message. And I'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, because it'll be on a computer somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Something will
I
be
know
open.
that like if you see a message, it means that you might not have seen the message because it popped up on like one of the computers at the shop or something.
Yeah.
And if it's on a desktop on Facebook, if the message pops up, I think it counts as like
As seen.
which is I hate the like. I don't hate the delivery options of like showing that someone's seen a message, but also as someone who looks at a message, thinks that I responded to it in my head and then didn't respond to it at
Yeah.
all, and have had people be like, so you gonna respond to that? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I did in my head, not in real life.
Sam says I turned off vibration, push notifications, etc. I tried doing that, and it was like the best 2 months of my life. And then everyone was so mad at me that I do care about that I turned them back on.
I love you. You were like not getting back to people about important things though, like scheduled things or.
I didn't say it was the best 2 months for everybody.
Yeah, of course it was the best 2 months for you.
It was a really good 2 months for me.
Be like,
But to be fair, I'm probably the only person most people know that has basically like professor like office hours. There are hours
nobody else's life. Okay, no, we're not gonna do the. You could reach me at my office because you can call someone at their office and reach them that way.
No,
you
there
can't
is.
always
I am
physically
at
go
a
in.
comic shop that if someone walks in there, what am I gonna do? Be like, ah! Like if it's really important, what
Are
walk
they
in?
supposed to get up out of their like workplace and go find you at the store?
If it's not that important that they would do that, I don't need to know.
Bethany, there was this one time I was on the side of the road in the middle of a like rainstorm because my windshield wipers went out. Are you telling me I should have gotten out of my car and walked to the comic store?
I sit down while I say this.
I'm sitting.
There was a time where you would break down on the side of the road and then you would walk up to like random
Okay,
houses.
My love, it is not that time anymore though. We have cell phones.
We shouldn't, is what I'm saying. These cell phones are terrible and they're bad for us.
Next time I break down on the side of the road, I'm going to go to someone's house. And when I get kidnapped and stolen, you're going to be like, damn, I wish you would have called me. I cannot believe. No, you do not truly believe that. I refuse.
Believe what?
That I should have gotten out of my car and gone to a house.
I'm just saying that it's like that's the world I grew up in. So the idea
Okay,
of like
well.
how everyone should always be this God holdable
I don't
at
think
all
that-
times.
I don't think that. I agree. I don't think that part. I do think that like there should be a special button that I could push for emergencies and like that I can reach you if it's an emergency.
I'm about to get a new cell phone that only you have the number to
I
and
don't
nobody
want
else
that.
does.
I don't want that either. That's stressful. Like a burner phone for drug deals.
Sam said it was very bad for my brain. I was constantly on my phone feeling the need to instantly reply. Yeah, don't. But so many people ask that of you, so it's I get where you'd get there. G said, like, here's what my ex does, and it was brilliant. He was sick and in the ER. He convinced me it comforted him to talk on the phone and go to sleep, so each of us would be like if we were sleeping together, and it was cute when he was a heart transplant patient. But suddenly, I couldn't sleep without him. He also messaged me every day constantly and wanted to buy me gifts. And then he went, well, we talk a lot because we gel so much, but we need to do time so for 2 days so we won't speak to be a healthy relationship. And then he water slided into other girls' lady parts those 2 days. I'm not laughing at the traumatic thing that happened. I was just laughing at how you phrased that.
At
'cause
the water slide.
That was yeah.
Tripped and fell.
Very common narcissistic abuse, actually. Professor Pixelbit says their cell phone is your office. Yeah. Sam said, I can't see you, so you can't see me. Jeff behind the counter at the comic shop. G said, you could die and I wouldn't care. Narcissists care about you. You're prey who needs to feed their egos. Yeah. Professor Pixelbit says, I don't answer work shift shit after hours, period, and I will reply the next morning. I think that's a very good boundary to keep.
I agree.
Sam says, Lena, please don't get stolen. We need you.
I'll try. apparently, hopefully my car doesn't break down or some other emergency type situation. I can't call Jeff anymore.
Professor Pixelbit says back to pagers for you. G says, I mean, I care, but I don't care. Does that make sense?
My favorite memory of that day was like, I called you and I was on the highway on my way home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Like the highway, like the busy, not just the road, the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, when I say highway, sometimes I don't know what I mean. I know what I mean.
You're on the expressway.
Yes, the expressway. Sorry,
Yeah.
not the highway. And there was like a lot of cars because it was like 5:00 and it was just rush hour. Like everybody's getting out of work
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. And I'm not going to say where, but it was one of the busier towns in Ohio.
Downpouring rain. And your
And I
windshield
was just
wipers
like,
aren't working.
la, la. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mind driving in rain when my windshield wipers are working, and I was really good at driving on the expressway because that's what I did every day to get to work. And then suddenly, my fucking windshield wiper was just like, bloop, and it just stopped. And
Yeah.
then I instantly could not see because it was like torrential downpour. So I'm in this left lane, and I have to get into the right lane to pull over because there's
Mhm.
nowhere to pull over in the left lane.
And one of your two windshield wipers, but the other one was working at the.
Yeah, it was doing nothing though. I can't like it could, but I'm so small that like it
Yeah.
doesn't do anything.
Well,
So I'm on the side, like I'm on this side, and then I have to merge. People are like honking at me, and I'm like rolling down my window, like I can't see.
Yeah.
Please don't honk at me. Like I'm not. I just don't want to get in a car accident. I finally get over on the side of the road, and I'm like bawling, and I called Jeff like 20 times. And he doesn't answer. And then finally I did the find my phone thing, like the iPhone beep beep, make a
Yeah.
noise to find my cell phone. And then I call him again. He's like, hey, can you give me a second? I'm talking to blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah, because I was with a customer
no, you were with one of our friends who is also a customer.
who's also a customer, and we were going over ordering stuff.
Right, but like you don't think maybe they would have been like, oh yeah, take that phone call from your
I don't know
friends.
because that behavior. I love you so much, but you would do that same behavior if like you're like, what are we eating tonight?
No, I would not. I would text you.
Now, at the time though, it was like if you couldn't get a hold of me.
No. I don't believe you.
Okay.
Not
the problem
not the
was
find my phone thing though. I would call you a few times and then I'd be like, well, I think he's, or I'd like do the Facebook like boop a doop thing.
yeah, but the problem I know now that it's like that's a thing, that's a break in case of emergencies. At the time, I did not know that, and I was just like, oh, she's just like upset I'm not answering the phone, and I'm like, if I could tell her why I'm not answering the phone, maybe she'll understand.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were on the side of the road.
And so I'm like, no, I can't. I'm on the side of the road. And you were like, oh, okay.
Professor Pixelbit says, speaking of comics, I need to get a volume of Walking Dead. Message me which volume. I might have it floating around. I have no idea what I have or don't have of that series anymore. Now that they've been re-releasing in color, I was like, I stopped ordering it as much as I did because I was like, they're going to do color releases, but they haven't really done color releases of the trades, so it's very much thrown me off. Other good people anyways, GU says, right, my ex claimed he had insomnia and talking to me helped him sleep, and that he couldn't sleep without talking to me, then surprised I couldn't sleep without him. Yeah, they train you. To be fair, I'm constantly in a state with the like dudes that are those levels of assholes of like, are they doing it on a level of like do they know what they're doing? Or is it just, you know, a style that they've like inherited naturally that's worked for them that they're like, I never know the difference. G says they do, yes. Oh wait, they did. I need the last few volumes, like 30 plus. I'll look when I get to work today what we have floating around. G says he did. He knew constantly. Well, I will try to be better at answering my phone.
Oh, nowadays I tend to. I mean, like we work together now, so it's a bit different. I could just be like, "Hey, Jeff," and you're like there, and I'll be like, similarly in the same room. I've started to just not do the find my phone thing unless it's like an emergency.
An emergency, yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, if there was a time where I used it to ask what we were having for dinner, it was because I was going to buy dinner for myself, and if dinner was already like I didn't want to like buy dinner and then have dinner, that seems wasteful, which is kind of an emergency when you think about it. Or I would do it when I was at the store and I was getting food and I wanted to make sure that everybody wanted the food that I was getting.
Yeah.
To make for dinner.
This is what GU sent in. It maps out all the attachment styles, I guess. Secure. So it's like a spectrum, I guess, from secure to anxious and from avoidant to... the spectrum is from model of self and models of others. Oh, I get why you were saying that earlier. Yeah, so secure attachment style has a positive model of self and a positive model of others. It's weird that that's in the top left and not like the top right. My brain wants that to be. My brain doesn't like how they oriented this chart.
Oh, that's fair. I get it.
Okay. So
I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Well, I need to wrap the show up anyways.
Okay, hurry. I have to pee.
That's interesting. I'm going to look more into this because I don't know enough about this stuff.
Yeah, I highly recommend reading about it because it's interesting stuff. I also have a few TikToks I can send you.
Okay, I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
Okay. YouTube. Put a lot of work into the YouTube channel. Please go check it out.
Yeah.
We're up to 50 subscribers now. Thank you guys. As I get to where I'm dying less, I'll put more work into it. YouTube, you said. Yeah, that link up there. I think it's just bop, 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 bop. Also, if you want to buy comics from us, Whatnot's a good place to start. They'll give you $15. And even if you don't want to use that on comics from us, if you use that $15 free on somebody else's shit, like retro video games or whatever, there's everything.
Vintage clothes.
Vintage clothes. They'll still give us a kickback for following that link.
Yes.
We have raid messages. They look like this.
Your screen is over here, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It's not us. It's the
they
chat.
look like this.
I'll be right. Okay, I'm gonna leave early. Bye. I love you. I have to pee so bad. Bye.
Bye. We love you. I was trying to move very quickly.
Okay. It's okay. It just hit me.
Yeah, I love you. Okay. We're gonna go say hi to Shiki. Should be on. Yeah, we're gonna go say hi to Shiki. Please be kind to our friends. Be honest, be kind, be useful. Live a good fucking life. Parasocial love. Yes. I love you all. Be honest, be kind, be useful. Live a good fucking life. This will be our last. If you're happen to be by Morenci, Michigan, that's where I will be live doing stand up this evening. So go check that out. Otherwise, we will see you on Monday morning with more Dork Duck Daily. Yeah. And we'll see you next time. Bye.